Hello, pagans and non-pagans. It's me again, Neo. This video is titled Wiccan Tips Helping Newbies. As you can see from my other videos, I've recently started a podcast and it's consuming quite a bit of my time. It's something I've wanted to do for, even before I got onto YouTube, I've always wanted to do a podcast, but never knew how to do it. And I figured out how to do it and I was like, oh, this is an awesome opportunity. And Jack's doing it with me, as you do know. He thought the idea was brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Anyway, I don't want to completely leave YouTube, even though there are many things about YouTube that piss me off. But I don't want to leave because I have a lot of good videos up here people like. I know it's helped people. And so what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing like little tips. Because there's plenty of Wiccans out there with like really good stuff like Crafty Witch and a whole bunch of names of people. I'll make a list sometime in one of the videos and show you. There's plenty of them out there. Anyway, I'm doing this off the cuff. I was going to write it down, but I'm just going to do it this way. Yeah. Pretty much helping newbies. Lots of people like to call them fluffies. I say fluffy for a particular group of Wiccan wannabes. I prefer to call the people who are new to the craft as newbies because they're newbie Wiccans. We all were newbie Wiccans at one time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Fluffies are those who refuse to learn but act like they know everything. And they try to tell you how to act. And they're also the idiots who lie and say they're dating their whitelighter or they're freaking shooting fireballs out of their fingertips. You know, those are fluffies. Or, as I like to call them, blessed wannabes. But the newbies are the ones I'm focusing on, because fluffies are a lost cause. I see it as almost a responsibility to those who are advanced in the craft to actually help those who are new to the craft. It's one of the reasons I do some of the videos. Primarily for my entertainment, but in the process, I like to educate. It's one of the reasons I'm doing the podcast. I like to educate. And, well, you got to approach them in the right manner. Nobody likes to be embarrassed, especially if they don't know something or if they lack knowledge in something. So if you see a newbie and their information's incorrect, don't sit there and point at them and go, "Fluffy!" and mock them. You gently pull them aside in private and you correct them. We do it very nicely. Because if you go about it the wrong way, and especially if you call them like in public, people get defensive and then they stop listening. You don't want to do that. You want to teach them. That's the point. On YouTube, as an example, I've run across some newbies who were way off base on something. And I'm not talking about their interpretation of something. I'm talking about basic facts that they were way off on. I could have easily went onto their video and mocked them and told them that they were idiots, but I didn't. Because that's not what you want to do. You want to teach them. So I went, sent them a private message, corrected them on gently corrected them, very politely, and I gave them references in which to read or look at to help them better understand where they were wrong. That's what we need to do. All those Wiccans who are listening to me right now, who are advanced in the craft, I see it as our obligation to help them. And I think we should. Because if we don't, there's so much crap out there. Movies, TVs, insane, stupid books, that we're going to have an entire generation of Wiccans who know nothing. And I think it's our responsibility. You can also go, one of the things I like to do also is I go to the forums sometime, and there's like 1 billion of them out there, and find the Wiccan section. And you can usually tell if you read some of the posts what's going on. You gotta be careful because some of them have like the little beehive syndrome where certain people kind of rule the roost, and if you do one wrong thing, they all attack you at once. So I've developed several techniques in dealing with the not chat rooms, forums, web pages. One, make an account and just watch for a little while and see what the knowledge level is. See, is it a bunch of fluffies or is it a bunch of newbies? Is there anybody in there who actually has knowledge that's helping? Or do you got some idiot who's spouting charm nonsense and they're all buying it because they don't know any better? If you go into the room and announce, right away that you're this third degree Wiccan or you've been a Wiccan for 10 years, you're probably going to get pummeled with more than you can handle as far as questions and people wanting you to write them spells and all that kind of stuff. It can be annoying sometimes. Then you also get the problem where some people want you to tell them exactly how to do something because they've just come out of Christianity and they're not willing to follow their path. So if you do that, you have to be careful how you do that because they will follow. Some of them will follow your words to the letter. You got to do it in such a way that they explore their own path while you guide them down it. Hopefully I'll do more videos later going over that. But I'd love to have other people comment in the comment section or do videos and attach it to this one telling me their techniques on how to do this. I have another one too where I sometimes will go into a forum and pretend to be a newbie. And I will ask questions that they should all know to test their knowledge base. And sometimes, I've tried this is really time consuming when you do this. I'll guide them in a direction without them actually knowing that I'm an advanced Wiccan and witch. And I will guide them in directions with suggesting books. Let's the example. Let's say, "Oh, I just got this awesome book by Scott Cunningham. It is so great. It's got great information. I think everybody should buy it." Instead of coming into the room going, "I am Lord so-and-so, and this is the book you must read." No, it goes much better. And you get to guide them. But the problem with that one is it takes a lot of time and effort on your part because you have to watch them. But it's a great way of helping to guide them without them actually realizing that they're being guided. It's a little bit, deceptive, but it helps them develop their own path. Because the one thing I worry about when I do help out newbies is that they want to do exactly what I do. And what I do is for me, not for them. They need to find their own path. So this is some tips. I'm running out of time. Hopefully I'll do some more videos on this. I know I'm a bit rambling because I'm doing this off the cuff because I want this to come from my heart and not from a sheet of paper. And I really, really would like comments from other people and videos on this one because I think this is something very important and we need to get a grip on our community or we're going to wind up having a bunch of ignorant, not ignorant in a bad way, but we're going to have a bunch of a whole generation who doesn't understand the basics of our religion. Anyway, I'm out of time. So, good night, everybody, and blessed.